The big space station floated high above a quiet blue planet called Harmony Hub. It was a busy place where many different aliens worked together with a few humans. Lights glowed in every hallway and machines hummed all day and night. People from many worlds came here to trade goods and share ideas. Most aliens thought humans were strange but useful. Humans could keep working even when others needed long rests. That made them good at jobs that never stopped. Lena Voss was one human who lived on the station. She had brown hair tied back in a simple knot and tired green eyes. Her job was to fix problems with supplies and shipments. When pirate ships attacked trade routes, Lena had to make new plans fast. She sat at her desk for many hours each day. Screens showed lists of boxes, ships, and angry messages from captains. Her fingers moved quick on the keys to answer everyone. Other workers liked to give Lena more tasks. A tall insect alien with 4 arms named Krell often sent her long reports. He said humans are strong and do not get upset easily. An bird-like creature named Vira dropped big files on Lena's desk every morning. Vira said, "Lena always finds answers, so why not give her more?" A slow, heavy crystal being named Thalor was the boss of the whole station. Thalor did not speak much, but sent quiet orders that added more work to Lena's list. Lena never said no. She smiled weakly and took every new job. Days turned into weeks with no real break. She drank strong coffee from Earth packets and ate quick snacks at her station. Sleep came in short naps on the hard bench in the quiet room. Her shoulders hurt, and her head felt heavy all the time. Still, she kept going, because the station needed her. One night the lights in the control room were low. Most workers had gone to their sleeping pods. Lena sat alone with her head in her hands. The screens blinked with new alerts, but she could not look anymore. Her voice came out soft and small. She spoke to the empty room. Tired. Those 3 words hung in the air. No shout, no anger, just quiet truth. Lena rubbed her eyes and leaned back in the chair. She did not know anyone heard her. High in the air ducts, a small blue creature listened. Pip was a young Zytherian. Zytherians looked like otters with 6 legs and shining fur. Pip's fur glowed soft blue in the dark. The little one had come to the station after a sad accident took its family. Human workers found Pip hiding and scared. They gave it food and a warm blanket. They taught it simple words and let it follow them around. Pip loved the humans most of all. Lena gave Pip extra treats and scratched behind its small ears. To Pip, Lena was the leader of the pack, the strongest and kindest one. Pip had been watching Lena for many days. The cub squeezed through narrow vents to stay close. It saw how Lena worked without stop. It saw how others pushed more jobs on her. Pip did not like that. Zytherians felt deep bonds with their chosen family, showed pain. The young ones acted fast. They protected without question. When Lena said, "I am tired," Pip's ears stood straight up. The words hit like a warning signal. In Zytherian mind, tired meant danger. It meant something was stealing strength from the leader. It meant enemies were close. Pip's tiny heart beat fast. Fur along its back rose in sharp spikes. The cub understood one clear thing. The ones giving Lena work were hurting her. They were the threat. They had to go. Pip slipped back into the dark vent. 6 legs moved silent on metal walls. The little predator began to plan. First steps would be small. No big fights yet. Just clever tricks to stop the flow of work. Pip knew the station layout from following maintenance spots. It knew where wires hid and where air flowed. It knew how to break things without being seen. Down below, Lena stood up slowly. She walked to the small rest area and curled on a bench. For the first time in many days, no new messages came. Sleep take her. Dreams came soft and calm for once. Pip watched from above. Its glowing marks pulsed gentle blue. The cub felt proud already. Pack leader would rest now. Threats would learn soon. No one would give Lena work again. Not if Pip could stop them. The station kept turning slow in space. Lights stayed on, and machines kept running. But something new moved in the shadows. A small, fierce guardian had woken up. It would not rest until Lena could smile without pain. The cub had heard the words, "I am tired," and that was enough to start everything. The long night stretched on. Pip waited patient in the vents. Tomorrow the first strike would come. Krell would find his screen dark. Vera would lose her files. Others would feel confusion. They would not know why. But Pip would know. Pip would keep going until the danger was gone. Until Lena could breathe easy again. Until the human said something better than tired. Far away, in the quiet room, Lena slept deep. A tiny smile touched her lips. She did not know her small friend had heard. She did not know the station was about to change. The galaxy would learn soon. Humans might look soft, but when they grow tired, something else wakes up to fight for them. Even if that something is small and blue and has 6 legs. The story of Pip protection had just begun. The next morning started like every other day on Harmony Hub. Lights brightened slowly in the corridors. Aliens shuffled to their posts with sleepy steps. Pip stayed hidden in the narrow vents above the main operations floor. The small blue cub watched everything with sharp eyes. Its 6 legs stayed still and quiet. Pip had not slept much. The words, "I am tired," still rang in its head like an alarm. Lena arrived at her desk a little later than usual. She looked different today. Her eyes were not so red. Her shoulders did not slump as low. She even hummed a small tune while she opened her first screen. No new urgent messages waited for her. The usual flood of work had not come yet. Lena frowned a little, then smiled. Maybe the system fixed itself, she thought. She stretched her arms and took a slow sip of warm tea. High above, Pid's fur glowed brighter with joy. Pack Leader looked better already. The cub decided it was time for the first real move. Pip crawled through the dark tunnels until it reached the spot above Krell's desk. Krell was the 4-armed insect boss who loved giving orders. He sat there now, clicking his mandibles and typing fast. Pip listened to him mutter about deadlines and delays. The insect reached for his main control panel. Pip moved quick and silent. It found the thin cable bundle that ran under Krell's floor panel. The cub chewed a small hole with sharp teeth. Then it let one drop of strong acid fall from its mouth glands. Zytherians made the acid to soften hard shells in the wild. Here it worked even better on wires. The acid hissed softly and ate through the main power line. Sparks popped once, then everything went dark on Krell's screen. Lights flickered and died. Krell made a loud, angry buzz and waved all 4 arms. He hit buttons, but nothing came back. His reports vanished into black nothing. Workers nearby looked over with surprise. "What happened?" they asked. Krell shouted for maintenance. Pip slipped away through the vents, laughing inside its small chest. Down, it thought. The flow of work to Lena would slow now. Next, Pip went after Vira. The bird alien had a high nest desk near the big windows. She liked to drop big data piles on everyone, especially Lena. Vira was there now, sorting feathers and sending files. Pip crawled above her station. It saw the power box under her perch. The cub dropped down quietly when no one watched. 6 legs let it move fast and low. Pip pushed a clump of its own shiny fur into the power slot. The fur had metal threads from chewing station scraps. It made a perfect short circuit. When Vira tapped her screen, a loud pop sounded. Smoke curled up and her whole system shut off. Screens went blank. Vira squawked in panic and flapped her wings. Files she had not saved disappeared forever. She called for help, but the tech team was already busy with Krell. Pip climbed back up fast. Its heart raced with excitement. 2 big givers of work now sat helpless. Lena would get some peace. The cub checked on her from a vent grate. Worked calmly on old tasks. No new ones came in. She even stood up to stretch and walk around. Pip's tail wagged like a happy puppy. But the station did not stay quiet long. Other managers noticed the problems. A lizard foreman named Gorv sent Lena a quick message. "Please take these extra shipping logs," he wrote. Gorv thought Lena could handle it fast like always. The message pinged on her screen. Lena sighed and opened it. Pip saw the new task appear. Its fur stood up again. More threats kept coming. The cub growled low in its throat. Not enough yet. Pip decided to hit 3 more at once. It moved to the mid-level offices. There Gorv and 2 others sat in a row. They loved sending group requests to Lena. Pip found the main junction box for their section. The box hid behind a loose wall plate. Pip pried it open with strong little claws. Inside were many colorful wires. The cub picked the ones that controlled door locks and power. It twisted them together in a careful knot. Then it pulled a small emergency lever, just enough to trigger a false alarm. Red lights flashed in their offices. Doors locked with a loud click. Screams froze mid-sentence. The 3 managers banged on doors and shouted, "Help! We are stuck!" they yelled. Security bots rushed over, but the false code made them slow. Chaos grew across the floor. Alarms whooped softly. Workers ran back and forth. Someone said, "Gremlins are loose." Another said, "Maybe a virus from pirate space." No one looked up at the vents. No one saw the small blue shadow moving fast. Lena heard the noise from her desk. She stood up and looked around. "What is happening?" she asked a passing worker. The worker shrugged and said, "Systems are glitching all over." Lena nodded slowly. She felt strange. For the first time in weeks, no one asked her for anything. Her inbox stayed almost empty. She sat back down and finished one old report. Then she leaned back and closed her eyes for just a moment. A real rest right at her desk. Pip watched from above. Bright blue with pride. Pack leader rests, it thought. The threats feel fear now. By afternoon, the station buzzed with worry. Maintenance teams ran everywhere with tools. Krell got a backup screen, but it worked slow. Vera lost half her weak data. The locked managers were freed, but their work was gone. They grumbled and blamed bad luck. No one connected the problems to Lena yet. She was just the quiet human who fixed things. They did not know her small friend had started a war. Pip returned to its favorite spot above Lena area. The cub curled up and watched her. Lena ate a slow lunch. She even laughed at a funny message from another human coworker. Pip felt warm inside. This was good, but the cub knew more work would come tomorrow. Managers always found ways. Pip needed bigger plans, stronger tricks, maybe even show teeth soon. The day ended with lights dimming again. Workers went to rest pods. Lena walked to her small room. She took a long, hot shower. Then she lay on her bed and stared at the wall. Ceiling. "I feel lighter," she whispered to herself. "No weight on my chest tonight." She smiled real and wide. Pip sneaked into her room through the air grate. It dropped down silent and curled at the foot of her bed. Lena did not wake. She slept deep and peaceful. Pip watched her breathe slow and steady. The cub made a soft purr. Tomorrow more threats would try, but Pip was ready. The little guardian would not stop. Not until no one dared give Lena work again. Not until the human could say something happy instead of tired. The station spun quiet in the dark of space. Stars moved slow outside the windows. Inside, one small blue creature planned its next hunt. The culling had only just started, and Pip would finish it, no matter what. The night passed calm for Lena. For the first time in a long time, she dreamed of home. Green fields and open sky. No screens, no alerts, just rest. Pip stayed close all night. Its glowing fur lit the room soft blue. A tiny, fierce protector. Waiting for dawn. Waiting for the next move. P. The station woke up to more trouble on the 3rd day. Alarms still beeped from yesterday's glitches. Workers talked in low voices about bad systems and possible hacks. Maintenance teams looked tired and grumpy. Fixed one thing, then another broke. No one could find the cause. Pip stayed hidden, watching from the vents. The small blue cub felt stronger now. Two big threats were quiet, but new ones kept trying to wake up. Lena came to her desk early. She looked rested and calm. Her steps were light. She drank tea slow and smiled at the empty inbox. For the first time, she started work without hurry. She even waved hello to a passing coworker. Pip saw this, and its fur glowed bright. Pack leader is happy, it thought, but the cub knew danger still hid nearby. Gorv, the lizard foreman, walked past Lena's desk. He carried a datapad full of new shipping problems. Gorv stopped and looked at her. "You look better today," he said. "Maybe you can handle these logs quick." He pushed the pad toward her, her mouth to answer. Before she could speak, Pip dropped from the ceiling vent. The cub landed soft between them. 6 legs spread wide. Fur flared out like sharp spikes. Tiny teeth showed in a fierce grin. Gorv froze. His scales turned pale. Pip hissed loud and clear. "No more work for Lena." The words came out broken but strong. Gorv's eyes went big. He took one step back. Pip jumped forward fast. It wrapped 2 front legs around Gorv's ankle. Sharp claws pricked just enough to sting. Gorv yelped and fell backward. He hit the floor hard. His datapad flew across the room. Screens cracked. Gorv scrambled up and ran away fast. He did not look back. Workers nearby screamed and pointed. "What is that thing?" they shouted. Someone called security. Pip did not run. It stood tall on 6 legs. Fur still flared. It looked around at the scared faces. Then it turned to Lena. Lena stared down with wide eyes. "Pip," she whispered. The cub purred soft and rubbed against her leg, like a cat saying all is safe now. She touched Pip's head gently. "What did you do, little one?" she asked. Pip just nuzzled her hand. It could not explain yet. Security bots rolled in fast. They scanned the area with red lights. Pip saw them coming. It dashed under Lena's desk, then slipped into a floor grate, gone in seconds. The bots found nothing. They beeped, confused, and left. Lena sat back in her chair. Her heart beat quick. She looked at the spot where Gorv had run, then at the empty grate. A small smile grew on her face. She shook her head. "Crazy day," she said to herself. Word spread fast across the station. "The human pet has gone wild. It attacked Gorv for no reason. It spoke words. It protects the tired human." Aliens whispered in groups. Some laughed, nervous. Others looked worried. Humans on the station started to grin. One human engineer slapped his knee. "Classic Space Orc stuff," he said. "Our pets turn into killers when we get tired." The joke spread quick among the few humans. They began to watch Lena with new respect. Moved to the next target. The senior staff lounge sat high on the upper deck. Big windows showed stars. Soft chairs and warm lights made it nice. Managers met there every afternoon. They drank hot drinks and planned more work. Today, they talked about Lena backlog. "We must push it to her," they said. "She is good at fixing fast." Pip listened from the ceiling duct. Its ears flattened. More threats, it thought. Time for something bigger. The cub had prepared. It carried a small bag made from chewed cloth. Inside were many packets of human hot sauce. Lena gave them to Pip as treats sometimes. Pip hated the smell but saved them. Now was the time. It crawled above the big meeting table. The managers sat close together, talking loud. Pip waited for the right moment. When they all leaned in to look at a screen, Pip cut the bag open with one claw. Thick red sauce poured down slow. It landed right in the middle of the table. The smell hit like fire. Managers coughed hard. Eyes watered. Wings flapped. Scales wrinkled. Jumped up shouting, "What is this stink? Who did this?" Chairs fell over. Tables tipped. They ran out coughing and waving arms. The lounge emptied fast. Pip dropped down quiet. It licked one paw clean, then climbed back up. No one saw the small blue shadow. The lounge stayed empty for hours. The stink lasted long. Cleaning bots came, but even they beeped sad. Next, Pip went for the station speakers. Lena had taught it how to use simple controls. For fun, she said. Now Pip used that fun for serious work. It found a quiet terminal in the wall. 6 paws typed fast. The cub hacked the main announcement system. A voice came out loud across every room. It sounded high and fierce, a cub voice, but strong. Human Lena is tired. Stop giving work, or else. The words echoed everywhere. Workers stopped moving. They looked up at speakers. Faces showed shock. Or else, they repeated. What does that mean? Is the pet threatening us? Some aliens laughed. Others hurried away from Lena area. No one wanted to be next. Heard the voice too. She sat at her desk, eyes wide. That sounded like Pip, she thought. She stood up and looked around. Pip, where are you? She called soft. No answer came, but she felt something warm inside. Someone or something cared enough to fight for her. She sat back down. A tear slipped down her cheek. Not sad tear, grateful one. Pip returned to its watching spot. It curled up above Lena. Fur glowed soft blue. The cub felt tired now, but happy. Threats ran scared. Pack leaders smiled more. The station learned fear. They learned a small blue thing could stop them. They learned humans had secret guardians, even baby ones. Night came again. Lights dimmed low. Lena walked to her room slow. She left the door open a little. Pip slipped in quiet. It jumped on the bed. Lena lay down and pulled the blanket up. She reached out and scratched Pip's ears. Thank you, she whispered. I do not know how, but thank you. Pip purred loud. It curled against her side, warm and safe. The station stayed quiet that night. Messages came to Lena. No one dared. The culling grew bigger. Pip plans turned sharper. The final threat waited. Director Thalor, the big crystal boss. Pip knew the time came soon. One more move, the biggest one, to make sure Lena never said tired again. Stars shone bright outside. The station turned slow. Inside, a small, fierce cub rested, ready for tomorrow, ready to finish what it started, for the human who gave it love, for the pack leader who just needed rest. The story grew stronger, the protector grew bolder, and the galaxy started to understand. Humans might look soft, but their friends, even the smallest ones, could be very, very dangerous. The 4th day dawned with heavy quiet on Harmony Hub. Workers moved careful and slow. They spoke in whispers near Lena's desk. No one sent her messages. No one dropped files. No one even looked at her too long. The small blue cub had made them all afraid. Pip stayed close in the vents above. Its 6 legs rested easy now, but its sharp eyes never stopped watching. Lena worked peaceful at her station. She finished old tasks one by one. Her fingers moved steady and calm. She took breaks to drink water and stretch. A real smile stayed on her face most of the morning. She felt light inside, like a heavy bag had lifted from her back. Other humans on the station passed by and nodded. They gave her thumbs up and quiet cheers. Word had spread among them. The pet protects its human, they said. Classic Earth thing. But high in the director's office, trouble waited. Director Thalor ruled the whole station. The huge crystal being sat like a glowing mountain. Light bounced off sharp edges. Talor moved slow, spoke slower. Every word carried weight. Thalor had heard about the chaos, the broken screens, the stink in the lounge, the voice on the speakers, the attack on Gorv. Thalor knew one name stayed at the center, Lena Voss. Thalor called an emergency meeting. The big round table filled fast. Krell came with shaking arms. Vera feathers still smelled of hot sauce. Gorv's scales looked dull from fear. Other managers sat quiet. Thalor's voice boomed, deep and slow. This must stop now. The creature threatens our work. It attacks staff. It hacks systems. The human Lena must explain. Bring her here. A security bot rolled to Lena's desk. It beeped soft. Director Thalor requests your presence. Lena stood up slow. She felt a small knot in her stomach. She walked to the lift. Pip watched from above. The cub fur bristled. The biggest threat calls pack leader. This is bad. Pip followed quiet, through the air ducts. Lena stepped into the meeting room. All eyes turned to her. Thalor crystals glowed brighter. Causes trouble. It damages property. It frightens workers. It speaks threats. Control it, or both of you leave the station. Lena blinked. Pip is just a baby, she said. It would not hurt anyone. It follows me because I feed it. Thalor hummed low. We have proof. It attacked Gorv. It ruined meetings. It warned us all. This ends today. Lena opened her mouth to speak again, but Pip heard everything from the vent. The words hit hard. Leave the station. That meant take pack leader away. Away from safety. Away from home. Pip's tiny heart pounded fast. No, never. The final threat stood right there. Big and bright and dangerous. Pip decided, time to finish this. The cub moved quick through the ducts. It found the control room for gravity. Lena had shown Pip the override panel once. She laughed and said, never touch this. Pip remembered every button. It crawled to the panel. 6 paws worked fast. It pressed codes Lena taught for fun. A soft beep sounded. Then gravity in Thalor private office turned off. Meeting room, nothing changed. Yet, Thalor kept talking. Lena tried to explain. Suddenly, a side door opened. Thalor private office connected to the meeting space. Everyone turned. Thalor floated up slow. Crystals spun, helpless in zero gravity. The big being waved arms that did nothing. Help, Thalor boomed. I drift. Pip dropped from the ceiling vent. It landed light on the floating table. Fur flared wide. Bioluminescent marks blazed bright blue. 6 legs spread like a star. Tiny teeth gleamed sharp. The cub looked small but fierce. It stared straight at Thalor. You give Lena work. Lena says I am tired. You call her here to punish. You are the last threat. Thalor crystals flickered scared. The voice came high and clear, a cub voice full of anger. Stop now or I take you apart, piece by crystal. Pip jumped closer. It floated too in the zero gravity. Claws reached out. They pricked one small crystal edge. Not hard enough to break, just enough to show it could. Managers screamed. Krell hid under the table. Vera flapped useless wings. Gorv curled in a ball. Lena stared with big eyes. Pip, she whispered. The cub turned to her. Its eyes softened for a second, then back to Thalor. Promise no more work for Lena. No more threats, or I finish this. Thalor spun slow. Fear showed in every glowing facet. I promise. No more overload for human staff. Rest periods mandatory. Extra help assigned. No one burdens Lena again. Pip waited. It sniffed the air. Truth scent came clean. The cub nodded once. Good. Pip floated to a wall panel. It tapped quick. Gravity came back gentle. Thalor sank slow to the floor. Crystals clinked soft. Everyone breathed again. Pip dropped to the ground. It walked to Lena, rubbed against her leg, purred loud. Lena knelt down. She hugged Pip tight. Tears came to her eyes. You crazy little thing, she said. You did all this for me? Pip nuzzled her cheek. Pack leader safe now. The room stayed quiet. Managers looked at each other, then at Lena and Pip. Thalor spoke slow. Meeting over. New rules start now. Humans get protected time. No arguments. Lena stood up. She held Pip in her arms. The cub curled happy. They walked out together. Workers in the halls stared. Some clapped soft. Others moved away respectful. The word spread fast. The director surrendered to a baby otter alien because of one tired human. Back at her desk, Lena sat down. Pip jumped to her lap. It curled up warm. Lena scratched behind ears. She looked at her screen. No new alerts. Just calm. She leaned back, closed her eyes, and smiled big. The station felt different now. Quieter in a good way. Aliens thought twice before piling work. They remembered the small blue fury. They remembered the promise. They remembered the human who looked tired and the cub who heard. Night fell soft on Harmony Hub. Lena walked to her room. Pip trotted beside her. Door closed gentle. Lena lay on the bed. Pip curled on her chest, purring steady. Lena whispered thanks again. Pip answered with a soft chirp. Outside, stars moved slow. The big station turned peaceful. One small guardian had won. The final threat had backed down. The culling ended, but the legend began. Whenever a human said tired, station cubs everywhere perked up, ready to guard, ready to fight, because humans might tire, but their little friends never did. The story reached its peak, and the galaxy learned quiet. Sometimes the smallest protector makes the biggest change, all because one human whispered, "I am tired." The 5th day on Harmony Hub felt brand new. Sunlight from the planet below filtered through big windows. Workers moved with careful steps. They spoke soft and polite. No loud voices, no rushing feet. The whole station seemed to breathe slower. Everyone remembered what happened yesterday. A small blue cub had made the director surrender. Now rules changed fast. New memos appeared on every screen. Human staff get strict rest limits. No more than 8 hours work per shift. Mandatory breaks every 4 hours. Extra helpers assigned to heavy tasks. Lena's name appeared special. Her workload capped forever. Assistants would handle overflow. No one could add to her list without approval. Thalor signed the order himself, crystals glowing steady and serious. Lena walked to her desk slow. She carried a warm mug of tea. Pip trotted beside her on 6 quiet legs. The cub fur shone bright blue today. Happy marks pulsed gentle. Workers stepped aside respectful. Some nodded hello. Others smiled small. Pads or files at her. Lena sat down. Her screen showed only finished tasks. Green check marks everywhere. She laughed soft. "This feels strange," she said to Pip. Pip chirped back and jumped to her lap, curled up warm. The morning passed easy. Lena worked on one old project. She took time to think. She drank tea slow. She stood up twice to walk around. No alerts buzzed. No angry messages waited. A new assistant alien arrived. A quiet insect with 2 extra arms. "Hello, I help now," the insect said. Lena smiled big. "Thank you," she answered. They worked side by side, tasks split even. Lena felt something new, lightness in her chest, like she could breathe full again. At lunchtime, Lena went to the food court. Pip followed close. Humans gathered at one table. They waved her over. "Sit with us," they said. Lena joined them. They talked and laughed. Stories about pets back on Earth. Dogs that guarded houses. Cats that knocked things off shelves. One human grinned wide. "Our little blue monster takes the cake." At Pip sat tall and proud. Tail wagged slow. The humans clapped soft. To the guardian of tired humans, they toasted with juice cups. Afternoon came calm. Lena finished early. She had time left. She walked to the observation deck. Big windows showed stars, and the blue planet turning slow. Pip climbed to her shoulder. They stood quiet together. Lena put her hand on Pip's fur. "You changed everything, little one," she whispered. "I was so tired. Now I feel alive again." Pip nuzzled her cheek. Purr rumbled deep. Pack leader happy. That was all it needed. Word spread beyond the station. Trade ships carried stories to other worlds. The human who said tired. The cub who fought for her. Aliens told it in bars and markets. Some laughed, some shivered. All remembered. Humans look soft, but do not make them tired. Their small friends turn fierce. Station managers on other hubs took notes. New rules appeared there too. Rest for humans. No overload. Better not risk a guardian waking up. Back on Harmony Hub, night came. Gentle. Lights dimmed to soft gold. Lena went to her room. She opened the door wide. Pip ran in first, jumped on the bed. Lena changed into soft clothes. She made hot chocolate from earth powder, shared a little with Pip. The cub lapped it careful, sticky nose and happy eyes. Lena sat on the bed, pulled up a blanket. She opened an old movie file, pictures of green fields and blue skies. Earth home. Pip curled against her side, warm fur and steady purr. They watched together. No rush, no work waiting, just quiet joy. Halfway through the movie, Lena paused it. She looked down at Pip. "You heard me that night," she said, "when I said I am tired. You did not wait. You acted. You protected me. I never asked, but you gave anyway." Pip tilted head, listened close. Lena scratched behind ears. "Thank you. From the bottom of my heart, thank you." Pip chirped soft, rubbed face on her hand. Love scent filled the air. The movie played on. Lena laughed at funny parts. Pip watched with big eyes, sometimes chirped at the screen. Deeper. Stars moved outside. The station spun peaceful. Lena yawned real and big. She turned off the screen. Lay back slow. Pip snuggled closer. On her chest, purring steady. Lena closed her eyes. Sleep came easy, deep and sweet. No worry, no weight, just rest. In the vents, other small shapes watched. Baby aliens from different worlds. Zytherian cousins, tiny avians, little scaled ones. They saw Pip's success. They heard the new rules. They felt the calm. A quiet idea grew. When a human says tired, we listen. We guard. We act. The tradition started small, but it spread. Station cubs everywhere perked ears, ready always for the day their human looked weary. Morning would come again, but different now. Lena woke slow. Sunlight touched her face. Pip still slept curled tight. She smiled, stretched gentle, got up quiet, made breakfast, shared with Pip. They ate together, happy and full. The station kept turning. Work happened, but balanced. Humans smiled more. Aliens respected more. The small blue cub walked proud. Hidden anymore. Pip trotted beside Lena. Head high, tail up. Guardian of the tired one. Hero of the station. Days turned to weeks. Lena thrived. She laughed loud. She helped others without breaking. She slept full nights. Pip grew a little bigger, fur brighter, teeth sharper, but heart stayed same. Fierce love for pack leader. One quiet evening, Lena sat by the window, Pip on her lap. She looked at stars. "I am not tired anymore," she said. "I am happy." Pip purred loud, happy too. The galaxy remembered. Humans could tire, but when they did, something small and blue or feathered or scaled heard the words and changed the world to fix it. Harmony Hub stayed peaceful, a place where rest mattered, where one whisper started everything. "I am tired," and a cub answered with courage. The story ended soft, but the lesson stayed forever. Protect those you love, even if you are small, even if the threat is big, because love hears, and love acts, and love wins. The end came gentle, with a tired human rested, and her guardian curled close, safe and loved forever.